Let's speak to Ellen Clifford, who is from Lewisham in South London. She is from Disabled People Against Cuts and she's the author of The War on Disabled People. She receives PIP for what she describes as severe and enduring mental distress. And we have Alicia Cartwright from Preston, who receives universal credit and has been assessed as too unwell to work or look for work, and also personal independence payment, which helps with the extra costs, as Nick said, associated with her condition, which is bipolar. Welcome both of you. Thank you very much for being with us on Newsnight. Alicia, how does PIP help you?
I always say it helps me get to a level that is nearer to what other people would think was the standard. So I'm not getting PIP to get luxuries. I'm here to, the PIP is just to help me live as near as possible normal life.
Right.
I'm not quite there. I'm never going to have a normal life, but it's nearer.
In what way? What do you use the money for?
So, for example, I get a lot of fatigue. Some days I'm fine because I've got bipolar disorder. Some days I'm great, some days I'm awful. On a day when I've got a lot of fatigue, I'll need to get a taxi to the supermarket because I can't drive because of my condition. I'll need to get convenience food so my children can cook for me. Because I'm simply not... If I was in the house by myself, I would not eat.
Right.
And that would make me more ill overall as well.
Yeah.
So it's... yeah, like I say, it's just the basics.
Ellen, how does PIP help you?
So, sorry, I've got a cold. So many people on PIP, like myself, need it since the cost of living crisis to pay for essentials. Much like Alicia, online deliveries, days when I'm too ill to get out of bed to be able to move, I rely on online deliveries. Days when I might be able to leave the house but I don't have anyone to support me, then I will need a taxi. It also means that I am able to actually try and work. So, like Alicia, I've been judged as being unfit for work, and yet the system doesn't stop me from working when I feel that I am well enough. But because
so that's interesting, because I don't think people realise that you are assessed. The DWP have literally assessed you as unfit to work. Yeah. However, you work when you can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think we both do.
Yeah. Universal credit adjusts itself kind of automatically according to how much you earn each month.
How many hours you do.
Yeah, so it does mean it's not how many hours, it's how much you earn.
I beg your pardon. I do apologise.
It does make a difference,
Yeah.
The thing is so that means on the months when I can't work at all, I do get that extra bit of universal credit up to a certain point.
How are you feeling about what may or may not be coming tomorrow?
A little more reassured, having heard from Nick. However, I think we were expecting that the freezing of PIP would be turned around. Still going to be extremely worried until we hear about the detail, although it's being said that the government won't now go after people who've been judged as unfit for work. If we really can't work, we do know that over the years there have been many benefit deaths. There have been many people who have been hounded to take their own lives or who have starved to death when there have been wrongful decisions made. Work coaches can't cope with the level of work that they have now. There's a mental health crisis, there's a recruitment crisis. Within the DWP, the responsibilities that are being loaded onto the frontline workers is completely unreasonable, and we're really worried about the workability of any proposals that go through. So until we see them, we're going to continue to be terrified. But the level of fear out there is immense. All campaigners today, meeting I was in this afternoon, all campaigners have been contacted recently by disabled people who are isolated and who are thinking about taking their own lives, because after a decade and a half of austerity and welfare reform, many people just feel that they can't do anymore. They know they can't survive if their benefits are taken away. They know that they can't work. So people are feeling, what option do we have?
And what about you, Alicia? Is the conversation over the past couple of weeks, without details, but with reports and leaks, how has that affected you?
It's terrible, it's terrifying. And the thing is, especially for people with mental illness, but including people with other illnesses as well, that fear is going to make your condition worse. So this news is in fact making us more disabled.
I mean, as you know what the arguments are from the government. The Work and Pension Secretary said at the weekend, she talked about the younger people, this massive increase of younger people with mental health claims. and even a greater increase for those with learning difficulties. We've got to change the world of work and the welfare state in its broadest sense so that we can help more people with health conditions and disabilities into work. That is a good thing, isn't it? To have that as the motivation?
On paper, as a headline, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? But in actual fact, you can't just take away someone's money and suddenly they're cured. You know, you have to provide actual practical support in helping people, and keep that safety net there at the same time. It needs to be a combined effort. If you just take away people's money, people are going to die. Like you were
What's
saying.
your message to the Labour government? If Liz Kendall is watching tonight, the Prime Minister's watching tonight, the Chancellor's watching tonight.
So we need more investment in public services. If we take money, benefit money away from people so they literally can't survive, then what will happen is...
I mean, they do say they're not going to do that. Liz Kendall said it's not about that.
However, we know from past experience over the last decade and a half that that has been happening.
But are you saying
we would like
Labour
to
would
see a
be
reversal of that?
Going to be like the Tories?
If we look at the things that have been leaked, it's worse than anything that the Tories did. What we're looking at, if our worst fears are confirmed, there will be immense additional pressures on social care services, on mental health services. There will also be a big rise in survival crime, so you can forget meeting targets for things like stopping shoplifting. It feels like a big social experiment if this goes ahead, and one that's going to cost lives and is going to destroy communities.
Thank you both for being with us. Thank you. Ellen and Alicia, thanks for being with us. Thank you.